Beautiful day, beautiful day, beautiful day, beautiful day. Welcome, everyone. We're going to give it a little bit of time before we get started today. Allow notifications because the last time we had our session, unfortunately, some of our regulars received the notification a little bit late, and figure I'd give it a chance for everyone who would like to be in here on the live. There's a special energy that takes place. So I would like to facilitate people arriving. So if you are here and want to make yourself known, please say howdy in the chat. And just know that once the live recording is over, I do disable the live chat replay. My idea is the live chat is sort of like a welcome, CB, welcome. The live chat is sort of like a, like a private conversation, privy for those who are here for the live, and then those who are here in the replay. We always have the what do you call it, the chat, the comment section. So I'm just getting set up here, and I like to also set my computer up so that I can easily see the chat room so much better. I have my black tea. So what's everyone drinking in their cups this morning? I have organic black tea from China, of course. It's called Prince of Peace. So when I drink my tea every morning, I feel very Prince of Peace-like. There you go. With some local honey that I purchased at the Women's Herbal Conference. And it is so divine, so divine. So today, I was able to get my morning started quite early. A lot of times I'll wake up and then I'll lay in the bed for a while, because especially when it starts to get cold, I'm just not quite ready for moving around. But I was up, I don't know, 4 a.m. this morning. But no, I did not get out of bed until actually 5. And did my altar work, my meditation, and got the little one off to the school bus. Dropped him right off at the school bus stop. He gets in the car with a friend of his. I came right back and I say, you know what? We're going to get started ASAP today. So I have everything set up. Well, of course, you know what that means. We're going to, let's see. Critical Break is Seattle's best free trade organic dark roast, MCT oil, and a splash of organic A2 raw milk. That sounds good. I think we have a new person. Grand Risings from Virginia, Ituri, Batois, and Mbuti. Welcome, beloved. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Let me remove these. Oh, let's see. I'm so busy trying to look at my cell phone, which is what I'm recording on, instead of just looking at my computer screen. Nina, love for you. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. So we will continue with our reading from Seeking the Spirit. Oh, instead of looking at the cell phone, look at the book. Seeking the Spirit of the Book of Change. We are on the sub-chapter of Wu, Chinese classics, Chinese culture. So we're going to get to that. And what else are we going to do today? Of course, we're going to do our Kuan Yin reading. And I figure since it's Friday, I will, once we get through all the readings, I will pull an oracle card from the Earth Magic deck. Now, this is not the book that came with the Earth Magic deck. This is another book that the gentleman who created the Earth Magic deck, which is absolutely amazing. I have not read this book yet, but I do have it on my shelf, and I look forward to diving into it. The actual little book that comes with the Earth Magic deck is somewhere around here, but I never use it. But we will pull, give everyone a chance to get a message from the universe to all of us, to each of us. Welcome, Pia Minds. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Grab your favorite brew, whether it's black tea, a glass of milk, or a cup of coffee. Pull up and enjoy. And before we get started, please let me know if the music volume is okay, if it's too loud, or just right. If you can put in the chat room. Welcome, Pia Minds, Critical Break, Nina Love for You, Ituri Batwa and Buti, welcome. And all the other ones who are quiet in the background, thank you, your presence. Thank you, Ituri, thank you. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Okay, let's take a nice, deep, centering breath. Welcome us into this sacred space. Okay. I always try my best because I know what it's like. I grew up with the name Tamu Ngina. So I understand what it's like to have your name mispronounced. But what's even worse than mispronouncing a name, I think, is not even trying to pronounce it in the first place. Okay. Oh, and let me just show. I am drinking my black tea this morning out of, this is a mug. Now this just goes to show you what coffee mugs used to look like back in the 60s and the 70s. This is a mug that my grandparents, I grew up and my grandparents drank coffee every day. And I would say this mug probably holds about 6 ounces. This is probably from the late 60s, 70s. And I have my yerba mate straw that was basically to stir it, but drink from that as well. So this holds fond memories of my very early childhood. And I have 2 of these to remember my grandparents by. Okay. There was a period of time when I was born in Chicago, and then my mother, we moved to Atlanta in 1979, and Atlanta in 79 was not exactly the ultimate cultural metropolis that it is today. And so when I moved to Atlanta, East Atlanta, in fact, in 1979, having a name like Tamu was very different, as they say around here in Eastern Pennsylvania. And also I have hazel greenish eyes that actually changed colors if I'm excited and very happy, so they would get greener. So between having the name Tamu, I probably don't have it anymore because it's been like almost 40 years, but having a Chicago Midwestern accent in the South, and the name Tamu, mood-changing eyes, you can imagine how bullied I was in East Atlanta, how I was picked on both by the students and the teachers, as a matter of fact. So by the time I reached ninth grade and completely changed school districts, I no longer wanted to be Tamu. So I decided I would have everybody call me by my middle name, Ngina. And that didn't quite work out because they could never figure out how to pronounce Ngina. It would be Najina. So I just said, okay. Much like Critical Break, I was like, okay. Instead of with Critical Break, she had people call her D. I just had people call me Gina. That was until the 11th grade when I was like, forget this. I'm proud of my name, Ngina, as well as Tamu. And so I dropped the Gina and went back to Tamu. And today I'm Tamu Ngina. Critical Break says those that are gifted are attacked and targeted from birth. I would say I don't know how gifted I am, but let me tell you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started now. So I thank everyone for being here. And I'm not just wasting time. I'm sort of getting started. I'm one of those people where I have to strike while the iron is hot. I'm very spontaneous that way. If I have to sit and plan, I will lose interest, and that would be all she wrote. So while we're sitting here and talking, I was actually getting my glasses on and getting everything ready. So we are continuing our reading from Seeking the Spirit of the Book of Change, 8 Days to Mastering a Shamanic Yijing Prediction System. And we are on page 25. And we're going to read about Wu and Chinese culture. And for those of you who remember, Wu is the ancient Chinese word for shaman, the closest equivalent. And of course, there's a shaman, even though it's, I guess, sort of like a Siberian, Mongolian word, shaman is basically a person, who works with the elements, who works with the spirit, who goes into the spirit world on behalf of mankind. So whether shaman, witch, my mother was called the community witch doctor because she worked with herbs and actually healed and helped a lot of people not have to go into surgery. Of course, she made sure to tell them, do not tell your doctor it was me, because, she could have gotten in trouble, as it goes here in the West. The shamans of ancient Chinese, the Wu, they worked with spirit, worked with the energies, and used the yijing. And so we're going to read about the Wu, and let's see, how many pages do we have? I think we'll keep it. We might, depending upon, it's 2 short sections, just 5 pages. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's get started. Wu depicts Xifang, 4 directions or 4 quadrants or squares. Xifang can be translated as the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. This is the pattern that the ancient Wu applied to the center of their bodies as high-tech equipment to communicate with the other 4 directions, and it was through this practice that they understood the universal way. This practice is called Zheng Dao, Central Way in Chinese. In this Wu tradition, the body is the central direction coordinated with the other 4 directions. Therefore, Xifang, 4 directions, includes the 5th direction, the center. The 5 directions in Xifang are equal to the 5 elements in Chinese philosophy. My guess is that the 5 elements philosophy originated in this Wu function. And I just want to reiterate, whenever we're speaking in first person, it is Master Zhangjian Wu, unless otherwise noted, that I'm adding my 2 cents in. Okay, page 24. Commonly, Fang means directions, method, place, square, and way. In Chinese oracle bone style writing, the character Fang is similar to the Wu. So here we have the Fang here and the Wu here. So it's either Fang or Fang. I'm just going to stick with Fang until I'm corrected. Fang and Wu. It looks like a person holding the Wu, shamanic ruler, and using it as a tool to measure the universe. Fang is the way that ancient Wu applied the tool to understand the universe. Fang also represents the cosmos. If you have the tool, you will understand the way. In traditional Chinese philosophy, we can use Fang to represent space and time. And I'm just going to take a little departure right here. An idea that just popped into my mind, that if we go back to the beginning and where was it? So that 4 directions, the 4 quadrants, the 4 directions, as it's stated here, this is the pattern that the ancient Wu applied to the center of their bodies as high-tech equipment to communicate with the other 4 directions. And it was through this practice that they understood the universal way. So the first thing that really jumps out at me is that the Wu, that their practice was centered within their own physicality. They connected with their center within in order to connect with the Tao, in order to connect with the universe, in order to connect with that energy. They first went within. They didn't go looking outside of themselves. So that's something I think really important to take note of. Fang also represents the cosmos. If you have the tool, you will understand the way. In traditional Chinese philosophy, we can use Fang to represent space and time. Actually, the ancient Chinese concept of the universe is related to space and time. The Chinese name for the universe is Yuzhou. I probably totally destroyed that, but Yuzhou. And how Nanzi, the definitions of Yu are up, down, 4 directions, which is front, back, left, right. And the definitions of Zhao are past, present, and future. Very interesting. So Yu Zhao. The Chinese name for the universe is Yu Zhao. And the definition of Yu is up, down, front, back, left, right. And the definition of Zhao is past, present, and future. I don't know about you, but I find that very fascinating. Ancient Chinese Wu shamans created their cosmology through the Fang. From a Chinese Wu or shamanic cosmological perspective, the universe Fang is constructed of 3 layers in space and time. In space, the layers are upper layer, Tian, heaven, lower layer, Di, earth, and middle layer, Ren, humanity. In time, the layers are past, present, and future. Human beings are a microcosm reflecting this macrocosm. Think of sort of like a fractal. You've heard sometimes people, and this is me speaking, not the book. We're taking a departure for a second here. You think of fractals, that the universe is a fractal and that we are a fractal of the universe, that our cells, our atoms, our cells, all the way down to the molecular level, we imitate the gravitational pull, the orbit, all of that. Everything that takes place out in the universe takes place within ourselves. Even at the conception of a new human being inside of a mother's womb, when the sperm meets the ovum, fireworks take place. There's like a fire, a spark of fire, a microscopic spark of fire that takes place. We are indeed a fractal, a reflection. We are the universe. So just kind of keep that in mind. Human beings are also constructed of 3 layers: Jing, essence; Qi, vital energy or life force; and Shen, spirit. Each layer contains its own Fang. Therefore, in Yijing numerology science, the numbers 3 and 5 embody the way of the universe, 3 layers and 5 elements. So I'm just going to take a moment, just check the chat room, see if we have anything. Pia Mind says, yes, we are crystalline fractals. And I just, please bear with me sometimes when I'm sort of pause when I'm reading. I tell you, sometimes it's difficult because I'm having the book in front of the camera so that you can also see it. And sometimes I kind of lose my space. I need to get like a yod, like in the synagogues when we read from the Torah, because we're not allowed to actually touch the parchment. We have like a metal stick that has like a hamza or a pointed hand at the end. And I'm going to need one of those because it is so easy with all of the letters on the page to kind of get lost. Okay, so let's go back to the reading. This Wu cosmological philosophy is fundamental to all Chinese traditions. Many aspects of Chinese culture, music, art, medicine, philosophy, etc., are attributed to Wu, Chinese shamanism. For instance, in Chinese medicine, Fang stands for formula. Making a formula is Zhu Fang, which literally means organized directions, place, and time. It hints that the ancient Wu understood through their bodies the center. Where's the center of the universe, guys? Where's the center to this infinite universe? Right in the center of you. Okay, I digress. Let's go back to the reading. It hints that the ancient Wu understood through their bodies the center, that different herbal formulas had different universal qi that was associated with different directions, places, and time periods. A Wu doctor, or as we would say, a witch doctor, a Wu doctor making a formula was the way to reorganize a patient's body microcosm. Interesting. Does this not make you want to go out and get this book? Hold on, let me show you something. It is so hard for me to stay on one topic at a time. I just want to show you another book that I have of Master Zhang Wu. This is Chinese Shamanic Cosmic Orbit Qigong. And I believe, and I want to try to get it, he also has a video that goes with this book so that you can learn Chinese Shamanic Cosmic Orbit Qigong, esoteric talismans, mantra, and mudras in healing and inner cultivation. So you might want to check this out. It's a nice little thin book, but look at that, brightening your body, meaning, and then the movement and the meditation and visualization and breathing, and then the benefit. So maybe we'll go through this one at a later time. We can delve in this one together. Okay, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to stay on one topic, but let's go back to this. So the Wu understood the universe through tapping into the center, and this is my commentary from what I'm understanding here, is that the Wu understood the universe and the Tao and the flow of the energy through tapping into the center of the universe. How deep is that? And the center of the universe is wherever you are. Remember that. So you really are the center of the universe. We all are. Isn't that beautiful? Confucianism and Taoism, the two main pillars of classical Chinese tradition, both originated in the ancient world of shamanism. As the way of humanity, Confucianism inherited and rationalized the knowledge of courtesy, ceremonial rites and regulations, and aspects of personal emotion from the ancient shamanic rituals. As the way of nature, Taoism rationalized and expanded the wisdom of the universal way and applied pragmatic knowledge from the ancient shamanic rituals. The Book of Change is regarded as the most revered classic of Confucianism. It would be incorrect, however, to think that the yijing is based solely on Confucianism, since Taoism contains most of the pragmatic methods of yijing science, such as Chinese 5 elements, astrology, feng shui, and various divination methods. One thing that we must remember when we're delving into Eastern philosophy, Eastern classics, whether it's Asian or African, there's a different perspective than what those of us who are bred and raised in the West. We see the duality as complete polar opposites, as in never the two shall meet. So like in Western countries, people think, religiously, you can only be Christian, you can only be Jewish, you can only be Catholic, you can only be Buddhist. You can only be one or the other. But in Eastern cultures, as you're learning from this, you can be a little bit of everything. Because, hey, you are the center of the universe. Okay, so let's get back to the reading. I know you guys are sick of my commentary. Okay. Actually, Chinese medicine represents the joining of Taoism and Confucianism and is thoroughly based on yijing science. The Tang dynasty, sage Sun Simiao, who is respected as the medical king by the Chinese, stated that nobody qualifies to be a master physician without knowledge of yijing. Confucius indicates in chapter 13 of Lun Yu Analytics that a person should not be a wu, a shaman, or a doctor if she is without constancy dedicated to the practice. Indeed, Chinese medicine and Chinese shamanism are widely considered to have originated from the same source. In Chinese, the term is Wu Yi Tong Yao, which translates literally as shaman doctor, same source. In fact, many of the ancient documents verify that ancient Chinese doctors were ancient shamans. I'll tell you right now that I don't think of like American doctors on the same level as this as shamans, because with American doctors, Western, not just American, but Western medicine trains to look, number one, outside of the body of the practitioner. Number two, they're trained on dead bodies where therefore there's no energy flowing whatsoever. You know, that energy is pretty much stagnant. And number three, not looking at all of the directions together, but individual pieces by itself. I saw a really interesting email that I received from, I think it's Green Medicine Info? And it was a newsletter, like a segment of a Canadian doctor who blew the whistle. And for those of you who see me on Facebook, you could see the link, and I'll go ahead and put the link here in the description below. But it was this gentleman who went through his medical training, and he blew the whistle on a very unethical practice. He noted that when women go into the hospital and are put on under anesthesia, and if they're in a practicing hospital, those women will be more than likely subjected to, how do you say this, a gynecological exam against their will, meaning they have not given consent. However, the consent is quote unquote implied because they have signed a consent form that whatever is deemed medically necessary will be done to them. And he explained how 5 or 6 days a week during his intern training that he had to give internal exams on anesthetized women. So for those females who are watching this, you can imagine what that exam is and how invasive. And someone basically said that's sort of like akin to rape, and it really is. And the reason why I'm bringing this up in connection to the ancient Chinese Wu and the doctors is because to be a Wu, you started with the center of yourself. You used yourself as the center of the universe to help combat using women against their will. Yes, it is a violation, critical break, to help combat using women against their will. Number one, there's one woman who is doing fundraising and trying to create a documentary on this so women can be more informed. And thank God I have never been under general anesthesia. And I feel my heart just breaks for the women who have been and have been in most hospitals are like teaching hospitals and have been subjected to this. And the doctors don't even have to tell you. And this gentleman, it was a man who blew the whistle. He had brought it up to, the doctors and the administrator, but because, he was just a lowly student, they didn't listen to him. And what they did was blacklisted him from being able to become a resident in any of the hospitals. I guess he went to medical school in Hawaii. But back to what I was saying, in one of the videos, there was a woman doctor who actually got up on the examination table with all of her students around and used her own body allowed herself to be used so that she could give feedback if they were doing the procedure correctly, if they were hurting. Because I tell you, any women out there who have had a cervical examination, and that's what they're doing on these women, they can hurt like holy hell. They can be very rough and aggravating and all of that. And it's an unpleasant experience. And number one, not only does an anesthetized woman not give her consent, an anesthetized woman, her body really is being almost like brutalized on the inside. And so this precious doctor used herself, and so that way she can say, okay, you're being a little too rough. Okay, go over to the right, or you're doing this or that. So I will put links in there so you can check out the information. I'll do that once this is over. Okay, so back to the reading. So I'll start with the last sentence I read. Indeed, Chinese medicine and Chinese shamanism are widely considered to have originated from the same source. In Chinese, the term is Wu Yi Tong Yuan, which translates literally as shaman, doctor, same source. In fact, many of the ancient documents verify that ancient Chinese doctors were ancient shamans. Critical Break says that females are stargates, and that should be held in holy space. Critical Break, you and I, we think the same. That's right. I tell my boys all the time. I said, I was the stargate through which you came into this physical plane. I remember my son, I think it was my oldest, he told one of his friends that I told him that I was the stargate through which he was birthed, and his friends thought that that was very cool. From this evidence, we can conclude that the Wu is the source of all classical Chinese traditions. It makes sense because the Wu, the shamans, if they are connecting with the center of the universe, they're connecting, and this is Tamu Ngina speaking, my commentary. If the Wu is connecting with the center of the universe, the center of self, little self and capital self, SELF, capital, all uppercase letters, we are connecting with that cauldron of all knowledge, of all information. And so now I understand how the Chinese culture has really developed all of this information that is still to this day, thousands and thousands and thousands of years later, so profound and so enduring and endearing. It's profound. It's profound. And this is just a testament to show you what you are capable of when you connect with your center within truly. Check out Sonia Barnett. I had her on my channel as a guest. I don't know if it was in January, either earlier, I think it was earlier in the spring, earlier this year. And she also has a YouTube channel, and she's on Facebook. And she's an amazing woman. And what I learned from her is that through her practice of meditation, physics, the science of physics began to be revealed to her. And I can't tell the whole story or how it happened, but check out the video. If you go on my archives, or if you go to my channel and you check the videos, and it's one of the top videos that have been viewed, so just go directly to the front page of my channel. You'll see a couple of videos from Sonia Sophia Stewart, and then you'll see one from Dr. Danielle. Oh, I can't remember her last name. She's the doctor that uses turpentine resin. And then you have a video from Sonia Barnett. It's powerful. We are powerful. We are the universe. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Focus on that center, because you have everything within you that you need. From this evidence, we can conclude that the Wu is the source of all classical Chinese traditions. Through their ability to communicate with nature, the ancient Wu, the enlightened, created the philosophy of the ancient Chinese cosmos that affected the whole of Chinese history and culture. This cosmology became the fundamental elements of yijing and its prediction system. I could read this last section. It's just here, here, and here. So how about, let's see, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll go ahead and keep it short and sweet and keep the secret of the yijing and the spirit of the yijing together. I think that would be beautiful. What do you think? Yeah, I think that'll be beautiful. We can do that one on our next recording, and then we will go to Qian, day 1, and start the practice of understanding the bagua. Any questions, any ideas of thoughts, go ahead and share them in the chat room. And I will go ahead and take a sip of tea and get the animal, I'm sorry, not the animal, but the Earth Magic cards ready. And if anyone would like for me to pull an oracle card for them from the Earth Magic, put me. This will help get us going for this weekend. Okay? Elia Corazon says me. So let's put our handy dandy yellow sticky note bookmark. So if you'd like to get a copy, Seeking the Spirit of the Book of Change, 8 Days to Mastering a Shamanic Yijing Prediction System. Okay. Thank you, Pia Mons. Thank you. And yeah, I enjoy doing this in the morning as well. And I figure I'm up early anyway, and it's a beautiful meditative way for me to start my day, and as well as join in the blessings with you guys and to share our energies and to put something beautiful out into the world. Because I tell you, I can procrastinate with the best of them. And so, nothing like riding up that escalator of life to make you realize, you know what, time is short, and you gotta put all your effort in as much as you can, being and doing. Okay, so I'm going to get Aaliyah, welcome Aaliyah, and then Critical Break, and then Pia Mines. Pia Mines, you've been with me for a while, right? Has it been almost from the beginning when I started doing videos? Pretty much, I think it was like last August, actually, when I started doing videos. Okay, Aaliyah, Corazon, go ahead and drop yourself, allow yourself to truly connect with your Corazon and feel that energy. And ask, what is it? Spirit, energy, the Tao, however you want to call it, the universe, yourself. What is it that you have for yourself? What you need to hear? Pia Mine says yes, from the break off pack. Yes, yes. Oh, and we're friends on Facebook too, I think. Just remembered. Okay, so this is for Aaliyah Corazon. Okay. All right. Aaliyah, cave, sanctuary. Okay? This is for you, Aaliyah. You have the energy of the cave. That's your inner self. You're being called to get down, squat within, let go of everything else, and take some time to connect with your inner sanctuary. Get in there, and whether it's journaling, writing in a diary or just a sheet of paper, allowing stream of consciousness to write down your thoughts. Really connect with your inner self, your sanctuary. Because the more you connect and go within and huddle down and get alone, not lonely, but get alone and connect with yourself, it fortifies you and strengthens you. You see this person, basically no clothes on, except for like a little loincloth, just bare and naked and connecting with yourself. And it's through connecting in your sanctuary, really truly getting to know yourself, really truly seeing the writings on your own wall, helps you to be strong and fortified so that you can withstand whatever is going on in the external world around you. Whether the sun is rising, whether it's setting, whether there's a thunderstorm outside, when you tend to your inner sanctuary, you're connecting with all the knowledge that you need in order to deal with everything that's going on around you. So some ways of connecting with your inner sanctuary is going for a walk in nature. If you're in a cold environment, make sure to bundle up. If you're in a warm environment, allow that breeze to just blow in your skin. Spend time out in the sun. Spend time connecting with yourself. Because when you connect with yourself and truly know yourself, you will be a sanctuary for not only you, but even for others. So that's for you, Aaliyah. Okay, critical break. You are welcome, Aaliyah. This one is for critical break. It's been a while. Critical break. I also do personal one-on-one, more in-depth readings. You can, Pia Mine says, hug a tree, Aaliyah, and harvest that grounding effect. And what that grounding effect is, it's sort of like letting go of your stress, letting go of all of that, and like being rejuvenated. Everything grows from the earth. It's getting its energy from the earth. And as long as we're in these physical bodies, we too must get our energies from the earth and connect with it and love the earth. It's our mother. And when we're released from these physical bodies, then we go wherever it is we go when we're released from them. Okay, critical break. Go ahead and connect with your own corazon, your heart. And this is for you. Oh, and as I was saying before, I am available for one-on-one private sessions via video or phone. You can check the link below. Okay, critical break. Wind. We've been getting a lot of wind lately. activation, wind, the power of the Holy Spirit, the wind. Wind blows from all directions, north, east, south, west, up, down, everywhere. Ready to be an inspiration, ready to do what you need to do? Have you activated yourself, Critical Break? Go stand out. If it's windy where you are, or even if it's not, I just like to go outside, lick my finger, touch my hand, and feel where the wind is blowing. Connect with Spirit. It is a mission. Renew your activation. Rededicate yourself to activating from within, to connecting with the Holy Spirit, to breathing deeply, and allowing yourself to feel that wind, that Holy Spirit from the inside and out. Even when it feels like there's hurricanes around you or tornadoes around you, harness that energy for your own personal activation, because it's not just for you, it is for all of us. Here you go. Activation, intellect, elevation. Critical Break says, I was told, King Mother, get thee behind me, just yesterday by Adonai. Keep on your mission. Okay. Let me, I think Pia Mines is next, and then I think Nina Love for you, and then gonna get going. It'll be almost an hour. So the next is for Pia Mines. This is for you, Pia Mines. Some energy for you to take with you today. Aaliyah is called to connect with her sanctuary, to create something beautiful within herself, draw beautiful pictures on those walls, nourish that heart. Critical Break, connect with the Holy Spirit, go deeper. Don't be afraid to go where you need to be. Follow that mission and Pia Mind. You know what's glorious about a mountain? A mountain is earth, is pure earth, is pure feminine energy with a touch of masculine that's pushing it up and outward, but yet still being held by the darkness, by the deep, by the depths of the earth. That is indeed a beautiful strength. You are strong and you are stable, Pia Minds. There's a stability in you that cannot be moved. So regardless of what happens or what energies might push and pull you, remember, you are strong, you are solid, you are stable. Enjoy your trip to the mountains this weekend. Enjoy that. And when you're there, sit and do a meditation and see what message the mountain has for you. It's interesting that you get this card pulled when you're heading out there this weekend. I hope that you enjoy and that you look at this trip this weekend to the mountains as a really big message and lesson for you. Get quiet and really take time. Leave that cell phone, turn it on silence, and really get out there and at least have like a 15 to 20 minute meditation against the mountain and enjoy the beauty that Mother Earth has for you, because it will strengthen you. And that's not a brute force strength. It's a solid, feminine, grounded strength that cannot be moved. There you go, PMIs. There you go. And so next, Nina, love for you. Nina, got some love for you, baby. Go ahead and drop into your heart center. Connect with that beautiful space. This is for you. I'm silly like that, Nina. Nina, love. Just ask my kids. I can be inappropriate, ridiculously funny, a little kid. And then conversely, I can be very reserved, never frigid, but reserved. Okay. So this is for you, Nina. Okay, this one just jumped right out. Nina, sweetheart, the ancestors are calling you. The ancestors are reaching out to you from time way back to even generations to come. They have a message for you. Do you have an ancestor altar? You ever think about thanking your ancestors? They have a message for you. Connect with those ancestors. Find out what their message is for you. Sit in meditation and ask yourself to lead you to your ancestors and connect with their voice. Those who do not know their past are doomed to repeat it. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. And this isn't necessarily about absolutely, okay, my ancestor was John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith and he did X, Y, and Z. You may not ever know their exact name and exact this or that, but if in your meditation and you work on connecting, it's not a once and done thing, it's a constant connecting with those ancestors who can hold you in love and wisdom and strengthen you and provide knowledge for you and the essence that you need. And look at that snake. Ooh, that snake. To me, that snake represents like our DNA. There is strength in knowing who you are. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Because otherwise, you're just a leaf blowing in the wind. And you don't know what tree you've come from. I'll tell you, one of the greatest things I did for myself is a DNA test. And yes, okay, when you do a DNA test, you don't worry so much about percentages, because the percentage means only that the DNA that we have gathered, and we can compare yourself to, you have this percentage of this one, and you have this percentage from that one. But you don't really know what the 100% is of everything. But you, at least from my DNA, I've learned that my ancestors come from Benin, Togo, Sweden, Norway, a little bit from Ghana, a little bit from Mali, a little bit from Southwest Asia, a little bit from the Balkans, which is the Mediterranean, Greece area. I have all of these ancestors, and I can call on those ancestors and the essence of their energy. And for those of you who are in the Americas or who are a product of the transatlantic slave, embrace all of your ancestors, because you don't know the story. We know the overall narrative in this country, but we don't know the entire individual stories. And I embrace all of my ancestors. Whatever society would deem good and not so good, I still embrace the energy of their cultures. and use that as a tool for my being today. Whether it's runes, whether it's the cowrie shells, whether it's the yijing, it belongs to all of us when we take time to honor our ancestors and where they come from. All right. Sorry, Nina, I just kind of like hijacked your reading. But you know, we are all connected. And everything that happens to you happens to me, whether it's on a microcosmic level or macrocosmic level. We are all connected. And this is something that I've known since I was like a wee little tiny one. So I hope that you were able to we shared that one, Nina, you and I. There you go. Connect with your ancestors. Just like the picture there at the hands. Every now and then, guys, everyone, Nina, everyone, take time to look at your hands. And for me, at this point, I have to put glasses on to see all the fine lines. I was like, wow, my hands are pretty smooth. Put the glasses on. Nope, not really. But take time to really look at your hands and trace the lines on there. And look at them. So there you go. All right. Much love to everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember to thumbs up this video. Okay? Please remember to share this video. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you feel so led, your love offerings are appreciated. Check out the links below. I have a link to my website. You can learn a little bit more about me. That's it. That's all I can think of. And we don't have the Kuan Yin reading for today because we've gone over an hour. But next time, we will share Kuan Yin together. So thank you to all the new people who have made themselves known today. And much love to you. I'll see you again soon. Let's take a moment to take a nice deep centering breath to connect with the center of the universe, the center of ourselves. Let's take a moment to remember our ancestors and all those who have come before us, and to remember all those who will come after us, to be mindful of the energy that we will leave for our children's children's children. I wish you peace and great bliss. I'm Tamu Agena, Priestess Heart. Much love.